Welcome back to part two for the Student-Centered Remote Teaching and Online Learning seminar. This part two will feature the student-to-student interaction and student-to-teacher interaction. And again, this is based on lessons learned from online educators. Again, the article is referenced at the bottom, and I will hot link it in the sway. So just to recap, number one, the student to content interaction. That's where we, as the instructors, provide an active learning experience for students, not just passive. Today, like I said, we will continue on our learning with student to student interaction planning and student to instructor interaction planning. So if you did not bring a lesson, two lessons, or three lessons, please press pause, go get those so that you can think through, troubleshoot, and be ready to publish. So again, how will my students interact with other students? The idea is that collective learning community, an opportunity for them to collaborate, to be intellectually challenged, and help each other make meaning. So how can students work with others while they are, we'll call it isolated or located or choosing to be learning from their home? So when you are remote teaching, consider employing some of the following strategies to encourage that effective student-to-student interaction. So again, in part one, we referenced the LMS, the Learner Management System. We use Blackboard, or you may be building out in OneNote, but it all depends on what you have. So ask students to participate in a role-playing or debate activity using the online forums or web conference tools. And don't forget, Flipgrid is a great tool that we can utilize to have students record responses, to engage with one another, to add comments on top of comments. It's really, really simple to use for adults and for students. So they can also do peer reviews. They can do group projects or group presentations in all of our online tools. They can also think, pair, share. They can have study groups. They can, if you create a team for them or you create the space for them, breakout rooms if available, they can go in and have those study groups quiz each other. Also, ask students to create a resource guide for the following students. Maybe you ask input from your students on their experience, which I am doing with your experience. I'm asking you your experience while engaging in this asynchronous model. And so, they can actually take a game and adapt it if that is an activity that fits in to meet the level of rigor that you need them to have and to demonstrate their understanding. So, pardon the small writing on here. I will press pause for a moment. I encourage you to press pause for a moment to read these time-tested, teacher-tested ways for students to interact with instructors and vice versa. You will see the Screencast-O-Matic on the middle voiceover screen recordings using tools such as Screencast-O-Matic or PowerPoint. And I want to make a note, this voice overlay was done in PowerPoint. Nothing fancy, nothing special, resources we have available. If you need help with that, ask a friend, ask tech, ask me. I hope that you found this practical. I hope that you found this beneficial for you, thinking through how can my students interact with the content? How can I get them to interact with one another? And then how can they interact with me? Guys, these are tools that have been used across the country, across the globe, compiled for you. Please make sure that you complete the form that is provided on the sway. I want to make sure that you have a chance to reflect and not just be a passive participant in this journey of learning, in this professional development two-part series. Reflect and implement. that is the only way for you to grow, for you, to grow for your students. And I need your feedback so that I may grow. Thank you for joining this two-part series of PD with Mr. C.